Hey guys, this is Mark. In this video I will talk about the Boolean data type in the backendless database. Boolean values traditionally are either true or false, and they may indicate whether something happened or not, whether there is a certain quality present or not, and so on. In backendless, there is a third value that a Boolean type may contain, and it is null. And it may be quite useful in some situations. For instance, you may have a column of the Boolean type that represents whether the user has opted in, for instance, to receive a newsletter. And the value of true would indicate that yes, they have opted in. The value false would indicate that they decided to opt out, and the value of null in the same column could represent that the user has not made a decision yet. So there are actually three values in backendless for the Boolean types. Creating a Boolean column is very straightforward. There are a few choices that you can make, mostly for the visualization purposes. Let's review what they are. Here we will be modifying the schema for the person table, and let's create a column of the Boolean type, and let's say that this column will represent whether that user is retired or not. So we will call that column is retired. The Boolean, select the Boolean, and it is called Boolean/checkbox. You will see why it says checkbox. And these are the options that are available. So you can assign the default value, and the default value is used whenever you create a new record and that property is retired, is not present, then the default value will be assigned. And as you can see, the default value by default is null, and you can change it to true, false, whatever makes sense. And null means that there is no information. That could mean that there is no information available. Constraints are the same as all other constraints, and notice that there are four options that are grouped in the section called Visualize As. And these options all relate to visualizing Boolean values. It's completely up to you how you want to visualize that data in backendless console. Whatever makes sense. If these are checkboxes, toggles, drop-down boxes, then you can modify that value easily just by clicking the checkbox or toggle. For these labels, I think once you click, it goes between yes and no. So once again, whatever makes sense in the context of your application, whatever you prefer as far as visualization, then pick that option for visualization. This could actually come in quite handy once you start creating views and visualizations in backendless. I have mentioned them previously. We will be discussing them in future videos. But for now, for this column, I will choose toggle. Let's create it, and let's see what that looks like in backendless. So here we have this column is retired, and as of right now, all values that I had already at that time in backendless, the default value was assigned as null. By clicking it, I can activate it and assign a value. So at this point, this one has false, and now it has true, simply by using that visualization as toggle. And if you click on this and remove it, then it goes back to null. So let's just assign values to all the records that we have here, so we can see what that data looks like when we get it back with a request, with an API request. So here, let's set some of them to true, and some of them are going to be false, and take a look at the data that comes back with an API request. So for this, I go to REST console and click get in order to get all the values. So these are the objects that are coming back, JSON objects, and notice that the is retired property right here has value false, and this one has value true. So the Boolean data type is actually part of JSON. That's why we see false and true without double quotes, and they are a special Boolean type in JSON. So this is how the data will be returned back from backendless. And likewise, whenever you save a new object in backendless, you would also use false or true to designate the actual value. So let's create a new person, and the name for that person is going to be, for instance, Kate. Assign age, which is not critical, and is retired would be in this case false. Well, 44, someone could be retired at that age, but it doesn't really matter. Let's just set it as false. Is retired is missing quotes. There you go. Now it looks good. Let's put this value in there. So now we have Kate object in the database with is retired set to false. Let's take a look. So here's Kate, and as you can see, the value for that record is false. Very, very straightforward. Applicability of this would be the same as with pretty much any data type. So it's really just a special data type to indicate whether something is true or false or null. And then you start using it in your application. That's all I have prepared for Boolean data type. Thank you for watching this video, and as always, happy coding.